Man, guys, I'm late. Already 3 points on the board. Crazy start. I had it on. I saw the kick. Man, Wales have started out of the blocks. Australia need to settle down, otherwise they're going to be in trouble. How's everyone doing? Australia just conceded a penalty. That's where my stream is up to. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Good morning, good evening. Man, Wales, from what, like a couple minutes we've seen, look absolutely fired up. Watching from India, nice. First time you've made it on time, and I was late. Too busy getting that Georgia game up. What's up, Mark? I looked at my Heineken box. We have an Aussie one. I did not see a Wales one. Cheers, guys. "90 seconds behind your stream." Okay, good. As always, I prefer to be behind where you guys are at. No surprising that Spark is slower. That's because the Welsh can't drink. I thought the Welsh drank brains. Brains. Bigger has just missed a shot at goal on my stream. If you remember the last scoreline between these teams, you never know if that'll be costly. Up the Wales from Connor. Nice. How many calories are you consuming a day on your days off work? I don't know. I chased the kids around a lot today. So I feel like I burned off a few calories and earned a beer. Watching as well. Good. Good. Hope you guys are all watching wherever you are in the world. What are you guys picking for the result? I kind of went 50-50 because I picked Wales in my World Cup preview. And in Super Brew, I changed my mind and went Australia. That's how torn I am on this one, man. I cannot make my mind up. Wales by 6. Wales with Wales with Australia getting a losing bonus point. Sure. Wales. Okay. I mean, based on the first 5 minutes, you'd have to say Wales, but I guess it's an 80-minute game. Hoping Australia wins so we can beat Wales ourselves. Oh, the confidence. Okay, Australia actually getting some ball now, so we'll see if they can do anything with that. I wonder how Foley's going to go today as well, because he didn't play last week. Oh, man, Karevi with the line break. They got him by his pants. Just by the seat of his pants. Got Wales by 7. What's the score? It is 3-0 to Wales after 6 minutes. Oh, intercept. Man. This game's got a bit of everything so far. Is that Latu chasing back? Man, This game is, some games like start a bit scrappy while the teams kind of make their way into the game. This game has started like full bore. Oh, Davis is out in space. North. Oh, they tackled him 5 meters out. Foley is crap. Okay. He won Super Rugby with that kick of his. Only time Waratahs ever won it. Oh, Australia are holding on. Wales like 8 phases. Oh, and they've turned it over. Whoa, man, what a flurry of game. Helter Skelter is exactly right, Craig. Which player or team has impressed you the most? For me, for you, it's Pellegrini. Pellegrini for Italy has been pretty darn good. I think Jimeno for Japan was also pretty damn good over the 2 games he's played. Did I say for Italy or for Japan? Because Jimeno plays for Japan. I swear I've only just started my first beer. Who have you picked to win? I picked Australia in Super Brew, but I did a predictions video before the World Cup and I picked Wales. This one's just so tight. If you watch my preview, the bookies and the algorithm, the 2 sources I look at for predictions, even they couldn't decide between them. One went Wales by 1, one went Australia by 1. So very tight looking game. But so far, Wales look sharp. Very, very sharp. Tommaso Jimeno, new player. Yeah, imagine the combination of those 2 guys. New Zealand versus Namibia could get pretty embarrassing. Namibia did okay in that game, but man, at set piece time and whatnot, they're going to struggle. I spoke to my dad today, and he mentioned that maybe the ABs are going to play Geordie Barrett at 10 for that game to give Mo'unga and Bodie a rest. $9:56 a.m. in France. Too early for a beer? No, not too early for a beer, man. The sun's up. You watching rugby? Well, that pass was forward. Who do you think will place 3rd in Pool D? Georgia, maybe? Must be nice having 3 weeks off for this. Good move. Yeah, man, I booked it well early. I booked it in March. I said to my boss, do you mind if I take 3 weeks off? She agreed to it. So I think she probably would have preferred I break it up, but I asked for it early, so she planned around it. Shall I watch the second half of this game or take my 6-year-old boy to rugby training? Can if you're in England, you've got ITV, so you can just watch the second half at your leisure. So you should probably take your boy to rugby training and just not look at your phone and not talk to anybody. Man, I love that Bigger hit that drop goal and just turned straight around. Yep, done. Has there been a kickoff? Yes, Ruben, there has been a kickoff. We are 3-0 to Wales with a drop goal. I'm not quite sure what's going on because they keep showing replays on my feed and the commentators are talking about stuff that's supposedly happening, but they're not showing anything. They're showing Bigger's drop goal and talking about other stuff. That's a bit disconcerting. Love your vids. Cheers, man. Appreciate that. Here from Argentina. Hello. Is your dad going to make a guest appearance sometime? Yeah, I think I will have to get him on at some point. He's keen. He is keen. Like, they literally just said Ken Owens, big throw this, and they're still showing biggest drop goal. I cannot see what's happening. Oh, there, finally. Jesus. What are they doing? What's in his feeds just showing the slow-mo stuff? Yeah, that was happening to me as well. They just kept showing slow motion of biggest drop goal, and they were talking about all kinds of other stuff going on. Got no idea what just happened. But I can see Wales are on attack like 9 meters out. Watch from Austria. Hard to get the rugby on TV there, no doubt, man. South African game was rigged. Oh, what's happening here? Oh, man, Parks just scored. Wow. Wow. Bigger with the cross kick. Karevi was going backwards. Oh, no, it wasn't Karevi. It was Korobidi. Man, he just got it easy into his chest, dropped to the ground, then helped it. He couldn't do nothing. Wow, try time. Wales got a scrum penalty, then kicked for the corner and got thrown out. Okay, so that's what happened. Okay, I missed all the scrum penalty stuff. They didn't show nothing. They just showed the drop goal again and again and again. Hadley Parks gives a wink. The guy with the broken bone in his hand. What a fabulous try. Man, Australia are on the ropes. Bigger is going to be a headache. Yeah, he is causing problems already, man. Apart from that missed penalty, he has been on fire. And he smashed that conversion easy as you like. 10-0 after 13 minutes. Who do I reckon will win? Man, at this point, Wales are looking pretty good. Not blaming the refs, but the poor standard of the first week seemed to improve up until now. Hopefully it picks up. Yeah, I guess that's probably true. I think the games have been a wee bit better in the second week. With so many Kiwi coaches around the world, who is the most underrated one? After the other game, you'd probably say Jamie Joseph. But he'll be certainly rated well now. Man, see if Australia can fight back from this. They're looking not good. Are the All Blacks the biggest cheats in the world? I don't know. I'll do a video on like refereeing decisions at some point. Like, actually look at the numbers and see what they say. But it's a hard one because you could also say that a lot of the stuff that happens is stuff that doesn't get like registered. So, okay, Australia is actually on the attack. Karevi is taking names. It's what he does. Where do you buy your jerseys? I'm in South Africa, but want a Japan jersey. Can't find any. I usually use shops like Lovell, and there's one that got in touch with me recently called England Rugby Store, and they've got 10% discounts if you use 2 cents 10 in their code. I think they've got Japan rugby jerseys in stock. England Rugby Store, England Rugby Shop. Just Google them and use 2 cents 10 to get 10 cents off. But I think their prices are a little bit higher than Lovell's. But maybe with the 10 cent, it makes up 10%, no, than 10 cent. 10 cent discount would be pretty rubbish. Oh, Tipperick just put Korobidi on his backside. Oz was slacking at first with Fiji and they picked it up later on. We may see that today. Yes, and Wales really came out of the blocks against Georgia firing, so maybe it'll be a game of two halves, just like the cliche. I'm not sure about kicking the ball back to Wales all that much, though. They are one of the better teams at taking the high ball. Oh, Wainwright's going to have a run. Tackled. They're the best at getting away with it. Maybe. I've only had a very brief look at some of the stats so far. So right now the theme seems to be home teams get away with more than away teams. But I need to look at more teams than just a couple that I've looked at. Wales, 5 phases. Pocock's not letting them go. Wales looking good, but still early days. Yeah, for sure. Oh, another droppy. Oh, he's missed that one. This is a tactical thing from Wales for sure. Wait, is he going Is he going TMO? Okay. Drop goal missed. But he's going for a late tackle. Oh, I can't stand this TMO. It's Ben Skeen. Ben Skeen. Like, I'm not usually one to have kind of favorite refs or refs that I really can't stand for the most part. But I'm definitely not a fan of Ben Skeen as TMO. He drives me nuts. What's going to happen to Hooper here? He's put a shot on Bigger. No contact with the head, he says. Ben Skeen is a knuckle. I reckon so. Okay. New Zealand versus Ireland, Japan versus South Africa, Wales versus France, England versus Australia. Could happen. Hooper lucky as hell. That kind of brings into question if that was a player from another team, perhaps a tier 2 team, putting a tackle on Bowden Barrett. Would that have been a yellow? Don't know. And Wales are going for touch. Wales 10, 18 minutes. It is indeed. Although I'm at 17 minutes and 34 seconds, so I am slightly behind. I don't know what the territory stats are right now, but I feel like most of this game has been played in the Aussie half. But what do you do against Wales? You can't kick the ball to – you can't do high – like you can't do Gary Owen to them. You can't kick it high because they are just so good. Oh, man, and Wales have turned them over. They can't get out of their half. What happened to Waisaki in the Holo? He is playing Mitre 10 Cup, I believe, at the moment for Taranaki. From memory. What if I do with my phone? There it is. I want to see the stats. I feel like it is going to be pretty terrible for Australia right now. Yep. Australia 32% territory, so not very good. Oh, Craig, you're too generous, sir. You're the first one of the day, man. Appreciate that. Hopefully Scotland, for you, will perform in the next game. Tomorrow's game's on bloody late here. It's on, because we just shifted our clocks an hour forward, so it's on like 11:15. I'm going to be looking haggard if I do a live stream. But, yeah, appreciate that, Craig, man. You're too kind. Thank you, but I know you're here often. Nahola off to London Irish. Yeah, man, London Irish have made some really good signings, eh? They seem to be really bolstering their ranks. I mean, I know they're kind of doing that thing where they pop up and down every year, so hopefully they can stay up, but at the cost of who, I don't know. Welcome, bro. Cheers, man. Are you supporting Aussie? Oh, man, I'm honestly really torn. Like, I know most New Zealanders hate Australia to win. And if it was the Aussie cricket team, I would agree. I don't mind the Aussie rugby team. I don't think, from my experience in Australia, most Australian fans are pretty nice about the All Blacks. They like us winning, except against the Wallabies. So I don't mind the Wallabies. But also I quite like Wales, so I'm really torn. My surname is Welsh, so it's a tough one. Roll on Wednesday. I know the games are just coming thick and fast. There's none on Tuesday, so we do get a bit of respite. We play you guys next. Looking forward to an 80-0 loss. Yeah, that's going to be a tough game for Canada. Definitely. I would like to see Canada get a try. I'm always keen on that team to get a try when they're playing one of the top dogs. So they actually did an interesting article here in New Zealand today about like Sonny Bill Williams gets paid $1 million. Beauden Barrett gets paid like $2,500 for doing a sponsored Instagram post. And then they did the Canadian players. It's like he's a teacher in his full-time job, and he's an aspiring artist or something. Man, Karevi is going busting it up. But yeah, it's going to be a difference in experience in class. Oh, Adam Ashley Cooper. Oh my God, the old guy. Two dads. Two dads just got to try. Boy, did Australia need that. That's like their first trip into the Welsh 22. Man. My wife is Welsh and super happy with the start. Whoa, she's not going to be happy with that. Game on, man. That should be 10-7. And yeah, I did see that comment about the Premiership. Like Bristol went and bought all that talent. So yeah, you are going to have to buy talent if you want to stay in the Premiership for sure. Isn't AAC like 50? Yeah, he is old. But hey. Anyone know the score? On my one, it's 10-5 to Wales, but it should be 10-7 in about 5 seconds. Oh, he shanked it. Oh, my Lord. What a stinker. He should have got that kick. Costly. Shithouse conversion. I will not argue with that. That was pretty bad. Biggest had a worse one in this World Cup. So, but yeah, that one wasn't very good. Who did the kick? Yes, it was Foley. Pressed X too early. Yeah, man. I was never good at the conversions in those rugby games. I think this is smarter from Australia. They're actually running the ball out of their own half. I feel like there's going to be more joy there than just the high kicks. Or kick it long, that's fine, but don't up and under. Wales just eat that stuff for breakfast. Spark Sport should have good quality. If Spark can give good advice, they should. Yeah. My Spark stream is okay, barring that like 2 minutes where they just didn't show the game. They just showed damn biggest drop goal in slow motion. Mertz has been saying the balls are hard work. Mertz does come out with the odd fantastic little line, huh? Gatland to coach New Zealand. I feel like he's an outsider for sure. It seems like the current thing is gonna it was Graham Henry, Steve Hansen took over, Steve Hansen's coach, Ian Foster's his assistant. That seems to be the succession plan. That if you want to be All Blacks coach, you got to serve your time as assistant. That being said, they need to take a serious look at Gatland because his record is impressive, and they need to take a serious look at Scott Robertson from the Crusaders because that guy, everything he touched has turned to gold. So there might be something to be said for bringing in an outsider with fresh ideas and not kind of getting that, closed off mind. So it'll be one to watch. Excited to see Warren Gatland coaching in Super Rugby. Yeah, me too. I'm interested to see how they go because, Wales play a very tight ship defensive game. They take their opportunities, whereas the Chiefs just offload every other play. So it's a contrast in styles. So I will be fascinated to see how he goes. He won't take an assistant job. No way. Yeah. I feel like if they are going to go with Foster for the All Blacks, then you put Scott Robertson as assistant if he's willing to take that job, and then maybe you groom him for the top job. But you never know. And Davis has just put a kick through. Corbett going to gas him. Okay. Shocked to find out that your brother is Scott. Ha ha ha. I told him that I follow Rugby World Cup games via your channel. I mentioned that your brother does the same thing. Yeah, he told me. My mum told me about that. He said that he'd spoken to my brother and some girl he knows talked about it. That's crazy, Tammy. Thanks for that, man. A small world. Tammy met my brother in real life. Started talking rugby stuff and mentioned that I have a channel, and just so happens she follows it. So she's like, "Oh, no wonder you guys look alike." That's crazy. My brother is not really into his rugby. I don't know what he told you, Tammy, but he's not into his rugby. Not really. I doubt he has seen one World Cup game yet. I highly doubt it. Our dad, though, is a rugby fanatic. Robertson would be great for the ABs. Want to see him breakdance after a Bledisloe win. Would he breakdance for a Bledisloe, or would he save it for a World Cup or a Rugby Championship? Don't know. Man, Aussie's under a lot of pressure here. Sitting in my lounge watching the game with the boys, but I'm watching the game in between loading trucks. Too much. Yeah, that doesn't sound ideal, man. I'm sitting on the floor in my lounge having a beer with all you guys, so it's working out pretty well for me. Kids are in bed. Life is good. Oh, man. Aussie's countering attack. Corabetes racking up some run meters. Oof. What are the chances of Georgia beating Fiji? That's such an interesting game, isn't it? Karevi, ball knocked out of his hands. Like, to be honest, the Georgia backs looked mediocre at best against Uruguay, and the Fijian backs are elite. I would say the Fijian forwards are probably better than the Georgian backs in comparison. So maybe Fiji will get it, but I mean, if Georgia can just keep doing that scrum thing, you never know. Aussie almost scored. Yeah, Karevi was on a run. What's the score? It's 10-5 to Wales after 27 minutes. I was hyped to see Tana coach the Blues, and yeah, that didn't turn out too well. Bro, I understand how you feel, man. I was hyped to see John Kerwin take over, which was kind of stupid, seeing his coaching record wasn't the best before he came to the Blues. But I was like, yeah, Blues man coming back to the Blues, that's going to be awesome. Takes over. The Blues go poor. And then Tana takes over. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Poor. Oh, Patchell's on because Bigger has taken an HIA. You didn't get a notification. Oh, man. Foley lining up a shot at goal on my one. Is he going to get it, guys? Tell me if he gets it. He gets it? He gets it? Does he get it? Yes. Okay. And he just got it. Nice. Nice. Checker. Not showing much emotion there. Yes, no, yes, no, yes. He got it. Looked pretty good, that kick, to be fair. It's been a good game so far. Very intense. And already higher scoring than the last time these two teams met. Fiji, Georgia keep playing for third place to guarantee qualify for the 2023 World Cup. Yeah, that's going to be a massive game. It's just the forwards against the backs, isn't it? That's the lovely thing about rugby, man, is you can have a team which just Aussie with the loose passing, which just scrums and mauls you to death, or a team which can just can score from being on their own goal line and then just breaking out and going length of the field. So two very different teams. Chica looks like that rainbow girl from the Trolls movie. I haven't seen the Trolls movie. Is it any good? 29 minutes gone, almost 30. Wales 2 points up, 10-8. Fiji will relish the chance to get some big hits on the Georgian backs. Yeah. Like I said, I feel like, Fiji does have some very good forwards and elite backs as well, whereas Georgia has got a lot of good forwards, but their backs aren't as good as the Fijian forwards are. So I feel like Fiji, despite that result against Uruguay, should still edge it, but who knows? Oh, man. This game's tense. Did you see Haig sweating through his shirt in the Uruguay game? I did, man. He was absolutely drenched in sweat. It must have been bloody hot in that game because they stopped at 20 minutes for a water break. So, yeah. Even the commentators on my stream commented that he chose the wrong shirt to wear because he was wearing like a full dress shirt and he was just sweating buckets. And he was just sitting watching the game. I hate to think what the players were like, man. It must have been exhausting. Oh, Aussie almost turned that over, but Wales have gone 9 phases. Is that a penalty? Yep, penalty. ITV seems faster than your stream by about a minute. Yeah, I'm kind of not surprised. Every time I've watched the games on Spark Sport streaming here in New Zealand, you guys have always been faster than me. And the one time they had the games on telly here, I was faster than the stream. So their streaming service just seems to be like a minute slower. Oh man, you're bringing the Chinese again? I gotta get close to my screen for that. And you're doing traditional characters. Bro, you need to give me simplified characters. That's too hard. Haig's shirt was hilarious. Ha 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 ha. Patcho was lining up a penalty. Is he gonna get it? What a kick, man. For a guy who's only been on a few minutes, that was a hell of a kick. What's your favorite All Blacks player? Favorite All Blacks player at the moment? That's a tough question. Maybe Adi Savia at the moment. That guy's just everywhere. Did you see the news about France USA getting cancelled over a typhoon? They would get a draw. I did not see that news. Is that a potential thing? Really? That would be upsetting for France, man. But Argentina would be pretty happy. Possibly getting cancelled. Was on the quip here in France. I hope none of the games get cancelled. You like to think that it's the best teams that go through. And the fact they didn't have any kind of backup day planning is kind of terrible. Because I'm pretty sure typhoons are not like something new for Japan. Who had you picked for the Georgia-Uruguay game? I picked Georgia. I haven't actually checked Super Brew to see how I did with that yet. But I definitely picked Georgia. Uruguay had a really quick turnaround for that game, so... Georgia, Uruguay, 33-7. I picked Georgia by 19, so I was a little bit conservative. And see how the Welsh boys go with 20 to go. Ireland looked a bit spent last night with the conditions. You are probably making a very good point, man. Australia would definitely be, the Australian guys would definitely be more accustomed to the weather than the Welsh guys. That's true. Man, straight through Patchell. God, Wales cannot afford to lose more guys who play 10. Ants came out before the tournament. Bigger's off with an HIA. I don't think he's coming back. At least doesn't look like it. How long has he been off? Must be almost 10 minutes. Australia having troubles holding the ball? Yeah. Carl, Australia 8, Wales 13. That is indeed the score. Wales have had the better of the game, but Australia are by no means out of it yet. That box kick went 5 meters and Dane Halapeti grabbed it, so good stuff. Welsh summers are hot and humid too if we have a summer. Okay. I just know that Super Rugby starts at like February and it's pretty hot at that time of year. It's because it's still summer. Man, Karevi just ran straight at Patchell and flattened him. Brave stuff. You got to make that tackle, but if I was a Wales fan, I'd be getting echoes of like New Zealand in 2011 with Carter and Slade and Cruden and all that jazz. Thought on Japan's high tempo play that killed Ireland's forwards. It seemed like it was very deliberate, didn't it? So very smart stuff from Japan. But it's interesting that when Ireland actually threw the ball around a bit, they seemed to get a bit more pay from their play, but then they didn't really go to that much. It was just every now and again. Ben Skeen's back in play. Oh, come on, man. Not Ben Skeen. What's happening, man? It's not like he whacked them. Surely he braced himself and then just kind of pushed him out the way. I mean, if that was a fend, is that different? This is why I hate Ben Skeen. Like, that's forearm on chest. Very soft, I know. It's 13-8 to Wales after 35. Which country is Skeen from? I'm afraid to say he's a bloody Kiwi. We get him all the time in Super Rugby, and he always does this kind of garbage. He loves injecting himself in the game when it's not needed. Come on, man. And thank God for Australia, it's only a penalty. Not that I'm saying like for Australia, just in terms of like the game. If that was a card, that'd be pretty sad. Are we watching soccer now? It seems like it, man. Anyway, law states they're cardable offences. Yeah. I mean, I'm also very much a fan of that kind of, when you get those people saying, back in my day, we used to tackle like this, just tackle like that. But even for that one, I'm like, come on. It's a fend. Yeah, I mean, kind of. If that had been a fend to his chest and his arm, if his fingers had slipped up to his chin, would that still be a card or like a penalty? It seems. Anyway. Guaranteed everyone would be calling for him to be sent off if that was their team. I mean, every team is kind of like that you look at things in your own way. But I mean, I like to think that if somebody smashed Bowden Barrett like that, I would still be like, good hit, man. So, yeah, I don't know. Even the Welsh fella on the bench was shaking his head. Yeah, bigger. Looks to be shaking his head. That's just a Ben Skeen one. Patchell's a handsome chap. Can't have his good looks being ruined. He got it. Oh, and off. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I get that you can't. Like, I've seen stuff where the guy with the ball does legit kind of try to whack the guy at tackling him, but that one didn't seem like that at all. That was just kind of, to me, a fend, and then he just kind of pushed him away. But anyway. Oh, man. Damn. That's a double trouble hit. Far out. You guys were saying try time in the chat, and I was like, nah, that can't happen. Not that quickly. That's his second intercept of the game, too. Man. Guinea. Wow. Advantage Wales. This is going to be a big effort for the Aussies to come back from here, man. The TMO is a moron. Yes, I do not like Ben Ski in April. He is just generally quite terrible. Who do you think will win Pool C? My money would still be on England for Pool C. TMO ridiculous. Yeah. But I mean that try, that's just a good read from Davis. The Aussies have only got themselves to blame for that one. Is he going to kick this? What a kick. Man, he has got the ball on a string. 23-8 just before halftime. Aussies are in the SHIT now. They sure are. They are in big time trouble. They have geriatrics on the field. How old is Adam Ashley Cooper? Like 60? Yeah, he's getting on. He's definitely getting on. Can Australia do a big second half comeback like they did with Fiji? Will Wales let off the gas like they did against Georgia? These are the questions for this game, I guess. He's 35. Is he really only 35? What has happened to Aussie rugby? Yeah, Carl, man, I don't know. Too much Aussie rules in league, I guess. Half time, 23-8. How can anyone say bad call from the ref? Karevi should know not to lead with the forearm. I don't know. I felt like he braced, man. I didn't think he was like sticking out an aggressive forearm, but hey, that's just me. Too much AFL league is right. Yeah, I mean, was it a couple of years ago now? I was in Sydney and in Melbourne, and it was just mostly league and mostly AFL in Melbourne for sure. Once they get somewhat consistent and stop missing actual cards, big events will go over the top and ruin the sport. Aussie's getting killed. You should have seen how tedious the AFL Grand Final was yesterday. Who was even in the AFL Grand Final? I don't know. I haven't followed it at all. It wasn't even in the news here from what I know. Howley's getting some great halftime odds on Wales. How good is that Welsh attack now that Howley's out of the picture? Damn. When was the last time they scored 23 points and a half against Australia? Richmond v. the Giants. Who won? I know Giants is Greater Western Sydney, right? Isn't that Israel Folau's old team? Richmond beat Greater Western Sydney by about 100. Holy hell, that's a big result then. They need to start to perform in union again. I remember the 90s when I was young, the Wallabies were good. Mate, I remember when the Wallabies had the Blues Light Cup, and I used to think it was unfair that you had to win 2 games to get it back. I was like, how are we supposed to win over there? That's just so hard. And then we've had it for a very long time since. Yeah, Folau played for the Giants. I thought so. He wasn't that good at that sport from memory. What was your Super Bowl predictions? 2 cents, mine as well as by 10. Oh, I made a big mistake and went for Australia in the Super Bowl. Big time mistake. Got to go to work now. TV there, though. Okay, man. Enjoy the day's work, Craig. Thanks for the super chat earlier. I do appreciate that. League scouts everywhere at the youth carnivals here in Oz and New Zealand. That's the thing, though. If you're a young rugby union player in Australia and you want to play professionally, you want to get paid for playing, how many teams have you got to choose from in union? The 4 Super Rugby teams plus the Western Force as maybe a 5th option. How many league teams are there? A lot more than 4 or 5. A lot more. So your chances of getting a contract with league are just a lot better. So, yep. I can guarantee the post-match with Checker will be entertaining. No doubt. It will be hilarious. Make amazing vids. I appreciate that, man. Auntie Raylene won't be happy. No, she won't. Opinion on the match so far. Wales have been by far the better of the 2 teams, although, the Aussie try was a pretty good effort. The amount of quality players for Australia started to diminish. True. What the heck happened with Georgia and Uruguay? Georgia got scrum penalty after scrum penalty after scrum penalty and maul and maul and maul. They punished them. Some league players then try rugby, so it's win-win. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Although I feel like it's harder to go from league to union than the other way around. A few players who are cross-code guys have said that it's tougher, so I'll take their word for it. John T. Oh, man, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Thoughts on not checking for the offside on that last try? To be honest, I did not check to see what position Davis was standing in when he jumped off the line. I hope that Ben Skeen, with all his pedanticness, checked that. I will have to go back and have a look, but I like to think that's the kind of standard check that they do with any try. That should be a thing, right? like in cricket, how they check for the TMO stuff, like for no ball, they go through those steps. I like to think there's the same thing with rugby with the TMOs. Carl says, some beer money. You're off tomorrow. Cheers, Carl. I'll finish the Aussie beer. Thank you for the super chat, man. I appreciate that. I am off tomorrow, but I will be most likely looking after my children because, not that you need to know, but my daughter seems to have picked up a bug from daycare. So I think she's going to go to need to see the doctor. She's asleep. She's all good, but I still think she needs to be checked. So that's going to be my day tomorrow. Kid to the doctor. Good times. But thank you for the super chat, Carl. You're a big supporter. I appreciate that very much. That doesn't look like any kind of beer I've seen in Australia. Yeah, it seems to be like it's just Heineken brought out these World Cup beers. They have just got a it's just Heineken, but it's got a Rugby World Cup team on it. I bought a 24-pack. Each one has a flag on it with the team of the country, and my box has had a whole lot of Samoa. This must be like the 5th Samoan one I've had, and there's still like another 4 in there. So my box has a Samoan theme. Maybe that's a sign for the rest of the games. I don't know. We will see. Myself and my son are from Ireland. Love the reviews and previews doing the World Cup so far. I appreciate that, Lorraine. I hope your son is not too distraught about the result against Japan, but I think Ireland can still pick themselves up, so we'll see what happens. Warm Heine bottle, put it down. It's actually not. It's been pretty cold, so it's not been in the fridge, so it's not ice cold, but it's cool. It's not warm beer. Don't worry about it. Oh, Tijuana Johns, your videos help entertain me through night shift. Cheers. Are you allowed to watch videos at work? Or have you just got a whole lot of mobile data? Either way, cheers for that, Tijuana. Appreciate that. Yeah, I can't get away with too much sneaky streaming when I'm at my job. Too many interruptions, but hey, that's a thing. But cheers, Tim Warner. Do you think the Wales halfback was offside? Now that you guys are asking that, maybe he was. I didn't actually pay close enough attention. Hopefully they show another replay of it, but they are still like the halftime show on Spark Sport is always what happened in kind of the first 20 minutes because I guess they needed to like edit some footage in the lead up to it. Like they're showing the AAC try right now. So yeah. Petchel, bad tackle position, but you can't lead with the elbow, boys. He tucked. Yeah, I mean, I suppose if you put your arms like that, you're kind of asking for trouble, but I don't know. I still thought it was a bit hard. But again, you put yourself in that position, I guess. So Oz paying $61 for 13 plus. Good luck. If you're betting on that one, use a free bet rather than your own bet. Hooper tackle looking worse and worse and bigger. Yeah, I suppose, actually. I mean, if you're going to say that both sides have had a lucky or unlucky one, Hooper was maybe pretty fortunate that Ben Scheme was like he's definitely wrapping his arms. Again, you kind of wonder if that was another team, would they have said that? ITV say Hooper was lucky. Spark Sport is not mentioning anything about the Hooper tackle at all. At all. They're taking more the line that Karevi was unlucky. Right, let's see the halftime stats. Run meters, 226 to 261. That's in Wales' favour, pretty even. Possession, 49. Australia, 51. Wales, pretty even. But then territory, 39 to Wales, to Aussie, 61 to Wales. That seems to be where the game is being won and lost at the moment. Penalties conceded, Australia 5, Wales 2. That's a factor as well. Hooper's was a yellow card for sure. Karevi wasn't a penalty. So, yeah, I guess you look at that. Both sides have kind of had one go. go their way and not. Thanks for doing the vids, though. Always great content. Would love to get myself to New Zealand one day. Yeah, man. Welcome to New Zealand. Come and have a look. We are way at the end of the world, so it takes a wee while to get here, but hopefully it's worthwhile when you get here. We got some very nice scenery. Wales 13 plus is $1.85. Nice. That's still worth a bit. Have Karevi and Pocock in my Super Brew fantasy. I wonder how that's going to work out. Thoughts on how rugby is going to end up with slow motion, yellow, red card trails with things go to the TMO? I admit, everything looks worse when you slow it down frame by frame. Some of the stuff when you show it real time doesn't actually look too bad. So, yeah, at the moment we're kind of in that middle ground where they don't review everything, but they pick and choose what they review. And that's probably part of the frustration because that's where the kind of inconsistency comes in. And I think we probably should be harder on the TMOs than the refs because the refs have got enough to worry about live, whereas the TMOs maybe have a bit more time. So, yeah. Maybe, another way they do it in ice hockey is they have their own video analysts working for the team. And when they want to do a coach's challenge, it's usually initiated by that guy. So maybe they'd have more thoroughness about it than the TMO if they were doing it for the team. But then you have to introduce coaches' challenges and you go down that whole rabbit hole. So it could be pretty messy. Tamua from the bench for Foley and things might get closer. Maybe. Score prediction on All Blacks versus Canada. It could get messy. If they play Geordie Barrett at 10, like I heard rumored by my dad today, then maybe not that messy. When was the last time that guy played 10? Did you play rugby at school or for a club? What position? I was a beanpole kid, so I played cricket. I did play rugby at lunchtime, and being a beanpole who was 6'4", I was able to smash most of my mates. But then whenever the guys who were in the first 15 played, they thoroughly put me into the ground. So, yeah, that's where my rugby career was at. Canada to win, so New Zealand can get second in the pool and get Japan quarterfinal. Interesting logic. I just don't want to see rugby lose its impact on the contact. Yeah, that's one thing that Brad Thorne of the Queensland Reds and former All Black and Brisbane Broncos player is often going on about. He says that rugby is kind of getting a bit soft, I guess, and that you look at MMA and he compares that to rugby, which is an interesting comparison. But yeah, he says that physicality is a big part of the way he plays. So it seems like that's going out of the game to a degree. Mate, Uruguay now looks better than Australia. Uruguay didn't look that good at scrum time today. That's one area they did suffer. From Scotland. Hey, Simon from Scotland. Good to have you here, man. They won't play Geordie at 10 against Canada. I think it will be against Namibia. True. You should become a TMO. Nah, man, I've got glasses. My eyesight's bad enough as it is. Brad Thorne was an absolute machine. He was. That guy is probably the greatest dual code international of them all. He basically won everything. Won Super Rugby, Rugby World Cup, NRL Championship. Didn't he win a Champions Cup with, was it Leinster? Yeah, the guy won lots of stuff. Uruguay was stuffed from the 4-day turnaround. I agree. They were not looking in the best shape in that second half. Georgia had a fair bit more rest and shifted up their squad a lot more. Do you think Oz could bring it back? If there's one team you don't want to be chasing a big lead from, it's probably Wales. David Pocock's having a word with the ref. Wonder if he's trying to plant some kind of seed in his mind. Definitely the best cross-coder next will be Sonny Bill and Robinson. Yeah, Sonny Bill always gets mentioned in that as well, but I think you probably have to give it to Brad Thorne for the best for sure. Pocock apparently asked Poit for clarification on his refereeing phrases. Okay. Are you watching through Spark or ITV? Because I'm streaming on YouTube, I'm using Spark. But I have been using ITV as well when I'm not streaming. Second half. All the way from South Africa. Nice. Looking forward to check his excuses and grumpiness already. He will be grumpy, that's for sure. Nice Irani, man. I haven't heard that guy's name called much in this game. All the way from Porirua, man. Famous town. I've never really been, I don't think. Australia have gone 5 phases in the second half, so they are fired up. We'll see if they can get a try and make the game a bit closer. Oh, as I say that, they've knocked it on. Haley Pettage dropped it cold. Phil Kearns will probably blame New Zealand for the reffing in the game. He might well do. Phil Kearns does not. Well, he's not going to be accused of being unbiased, that guy, anyway. It must suck to be a Wallabies supporter. Oh, it was Foley that dropped it. I thought it was Dana Petty. Oh, what? Eddie Jones is in the crowd. What is that hat he's wearing? That looks like an American sports team. "90% of my suggested videos are yours. Huge fan." That's because I put too many videos out, man. I'm sorry about that. I don't mean to fill up your suggested thing. Sometimes YouTube even suggests my own bloody videos to me. I sit there watching like G-Man or somebody else, 1014, when they were doing videos, and it keeps suggesting 2 Cents Rugby. Bugger off! I made the video. I don't want to watch it. The Texans. Okay. I'm assuming that's an NFL team because I feel like I would know most of the NHL or the NBA teams. Baseball teams, maybe I wouldn't. Oh, man. Wales are going into the Aussie 22. If Wales score here, is that game? I'm not game to look at the comments because if Wales have scored, you guys would have already seen it. Houston Texans, NFL. Right. Thank you, guys. I feel like I know more of the old NFL teams than the current ones. I'm sure Houston Texans never used to be a thing. Gareth Davis, man of the match so far. Probably, man. Pressure on the Wallabies. Absolutely. They need to hold. They're already far enough behind. If it goes 30-8, they're in big trouble. Check it as the Welsh man of the match, surely. Some people would argue that by picking Foley, he's already a Welsh man of the match. Drop goal. Slotted it. Man. Stephen Donald just said on Spark Sport that the Wales have been clinical. He is not wrong. Keep that scoreboard ticking over. Absolutely. Foley is off. That didn't take long. It's a long way back for Australia. You wouldn't catch me watching 2 cents rugby. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I've been busted by a few people at work now, which is disappointing because I got away with it for a long time. That Welsh defense is not going to break, is it? So glad I put $100 on Wales. I'll bet, man. That's looking like a very sensible bet at this point. Remember, the predictions by the bookies was Wales by 1, and Rugby Forecast was Australia by 1. This is looking like a fair bit more than 1 point. Wow, Tamua. Corbett. Oh, the Welsh scramble defense. Guinea, Tamua. Is he going to score? Have you guys seen it? Did they score? 7 phases. They're a meter out. Tipper slowed that down like nobody's business. Forward pass from Guinea. I thought so as well. I thought there was a forward pass in the build-up, to be fair. But surely that's more than as many phases as they can look back, right? TMO's only allowed to look at a couple of phases previous. Was that forward? Or is it the subsequent pass? Is it this pass? No. From that angle, it looks flat. The initial angle I saw definitely looked forward. Tamua makes an immediate impact. Pew, pew. I think that is a fair point. Stephen Donald is just saying the same thing here. AAC is going off. I guess at his age, getting to an hour was always going to be tough. Is that a try assist for Pocock? My Karevi defender's beaten and Pocock fantasy points are coming in. Ryan, yeah, man, you might be right. Can he kick this conversion? What a kick. Game on. Well, touching distance, kind of. 2 scores. Sparks footage is behind. It is. When are you going to evolve to 3 cents rugby? They don't do 3 cents. Like, I think the next evolution from 2 is like 50, but 50's already taken. Well, they're not 50 cents rugby, but 50 cent is already somebody else. So Beal's on. He's the guy that they bought on for AAC. Does that mean that Nick White is the only back reserve left for the Aussies? Because you remember Ireland had to bring on McGrath when Carney went off. Sparker ripping people off with the delay. It is quite delayed, isn't it? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if you're not live streaming on YouTube and people tell you what's happening, but yeah, it is quite delayed. 2 cent plus 1 cent when you get your dad or brother on. I'm not sure how many cents my brother is worth for rugby. He used to be a big cricket nut, but he's never been a rugby guy. A little bit of a league guy. He's never been a union guy. My dad is just sports nut. He follows NRL, he follows cricket, he follows rugby. Not soccer. Channel 1 did a good job, though, better footage. Yeah, they do have a few games on TVNZ, so we'll see how those ones go, but it's pretty much just all the New Zealand games, and some of them delayed. Australia back in their own half, so they're not going to be scoring from here. Samoa. NRL. Yeah, my dad likes league. He does like a bit of league. He used to take me to league when I was a kid, man. I used to like it when I was a kid. Another intercept. Oh, no, not quite. Far out. He has been so dangerous, Gareth Davis. Oh, my. He's reading it like a book. Radio New Zealand about 30 seconds behind Spark 1 minute. Most podcasts 1 to 5 minutes. Right, makes sense. Sorry, Sports Radio New Zealand, yeah. I wish the rugby was on Sky Sport. Yes, it's true. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Sky Sport, to be fair. Are they going to look at this tackle? Or is it Nisarani for using his forearms? Score, please. It's 26-15 to Wales after 50 minutes. So still half an hour to go. Rugby league is awful rubbish. I can see the attraction. I get why I was into it as a kid. It's got bigger hits and less kicking and stuff. So as a kid, that was kind of appealing. But I do think I prefer Union because it does have a bit more to it. And that's not for me either. Like, again, I mentioned those cross-code guys like Chris Ashton and a bunch of other guys have basically said it is it's tough to get into rugby once you've been in league. What are they TMOing here? It looks like the tackle of Adams on Nasarani. It's Ben Skeen at his best. It's a bicep to the nose. League's great to watch. It does have its moments, man. I don't mind the highlights, but like I do like the fact that in rugby you can get Georgia up against Fiji. I don't feel like you get that kind of same like difference in teams in league. I don't know. Maybe I just don't know enough about league. But you can literally have a team which just scrummages and mauls and has huge forwards, or you can have a team which has just got flashy backs, and both can be successful. But is that a thing in league? I don't know. What is the conclusion from this TMO? Penalty. Keep it down. Okay, fair enough. If the Caribbean's one was, then I guess that one's was, but geez. That's Ben Skeen. Ben Skeen. Rugby union is way better when it comes to internationals. Yes, there's a lot more depth in international rugby union than there is in league. Does my dad watch hockey? Not really. He's only into the fights with the hockey. He doesn't dig the hockey. Whenever I put hockey on, he would generally leave after 5 minutes. League is frustrating because you essentially get a short arm free kick for being tackled. Yeah, you stop, you go again. What do you call it? People just call it 5-tackle kick, right? And they call the AFL like aerial ping pong or something like that. Australia could probably use a score here. They're actually in Wales's 22. Will they mess it up? Quick ball. Tamua again. That guy seems to be in a bit of everything. It is 26-15 after 51 minutes. Australia are going on the attack. They're like 7 meters from the Welsh line after going 8 phases. They're inching their way closer. Knock on. Okay. I'll keep an eye out for it. Ten phases. Arnold. Is he going to get turned over? Not quite. I can't be that far behind, surely. 12 phases. Oh, there's the knock on. It was Karevi. Oh, another knock on. Jonathan Davis is put boot to ball. And the Aussies are back down their end of the field. Man, these guys are going to need a break, but the ball's not going out. 3 minutes behind. Isn't that bad? Oh, my. Come on, Spark. Get your coverage going faster. Need to sign up from the stream. Thanks for your video and commentary. See you for the next one. All right, Ryan. Hopefully I can stream tomorrow's game, but it's bloody late. So if I'm shattered, I may not, but I will try my best. It's like 11:15. The start time's not too bad, but the finish time will be tough. You're breaking my balls, Spark. Yeah, man. Like when they finally upgraded my street to higher speed internet, I made sure to get a decent speed so I could watch the Rugby World Cup. So it can't be my end. It's got to be Spark. That's a no. He won't be streaming. It's a maybe, man. It's a legit maybe. But remember, I'm looking after the kids tomorrow, so I may be absolutely shattered. But I hope I can stream. I always prefer it if I can. It's going to be a huge game. The score on this one is 26-15 after 53 minutes. 59 minutes. Am I that far behind? Oh, my Lord. Oh, no games on Tuesday. That's right. There are no games on Tuesday. Some Welsh players sucking in the air. Do Wales have 80 minutes in them? 26-2 to Wales. Australia not helping themselves with those knock-ons. It is true. Wallabies have dominated the half. That's true. They've probably had the better of the second half. But remember, that's what we kind of said, eh? Wales real good in their first half the other day. Australia good in the second half for them. So maybe that's going to be the game of two halves. I got 54 minutes in Oz. Yeah, I'm on 53 minutes and 52 seconds in New Zealand. So when Hooper starts snarling, that means Aussies are under the pump. Yeah, that's true. Oh, man, what a tackle by Hooper on Davis. What a tackle. That was immense. That was immense. I've got 54:20 and it's 55 minutes here. Okay. Canada, TSN stream is the same as you, right? Can I see your comments? Yes, I can. Fiji still in it mathematically, but very doubtful. Absolutely. Do you ever do Mitre 10 Cup videos? I did Mitre 10 Cup videos last year, and nobody watched them. So I kind of called it quits on the Mitre 10 Cup. But Driving Mall does heaps of Mitre 10 Cup content. So if you want YouTube content for Mitre 10 Cup, go to Driving Mall. That guy gets media passes and everything. He goes to as many games as he can. He's a fanatic. So, yeah, that's my recommendation. Oh, man. Aussie are actually starting to look a bit dangerous. They're finding some space that wasn't there in the first half. Tamua again. But they need to get some guys into that ruck, otherwise they're going to get turned over. Close. Can you speak any Welsh, mate? No. But isn't like Wales written in Welsh like Cyrmu and it said like Cymraeg or something like that? It's like a language that is never said the way it is spelt. You have to know the rules. It seems like, to my absolutely untrained eye. I don't mind Spark. Haven't had any issues with it. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, my Spark coverage has been pretty good. It's just that apparently it's slower than everybody else's. I had the odd buffering issue with those first few games, but since they had that big issue with the South Africa-New Zealand game, whatever they fixed has fixed it for me as well. Cymraeg, right. Yeah, you got to know the rules in that language. It seems really tough. You're probably one of the most passionate rugby fans I've ever come across. I do like my rugby, man. It is a thing. It is a thing. I probably get it from my dad. As I said, he's a fanatic. He's taken me to Eden Park as a kid, and he would just scream his head off a lot. I'm not the screaming head off type, so I didn't get that from him, but I certainly got the interest in rugby from him. Wow, second half possession, 78% Australia, according to Spark. Do you know any Afrikaans? I just know like lekker means like good. And if I'm not, apologize if it's a swear word, but doesn't like kak mean bad? I think that's probably the extent of my Afrikaans. The Wallabies with a big maul, they've got advantage. That's where they got so much pay with Fiji. Does look ominous. If Australia score here, Samoa with the cross kick. Too big. Do you know any te reo? Man, this is like a language quiz class. I know a few words in Māori. I studied Treaty of Waitangi when I was in high school, so I know about rangatiratanga and kāwanatanga and all that kind of stuff. That stuff was interesting. But conversational te reo is absolutely minimal. I've been to the odd pōwhiri, and I regret that I cannot understand most of what they're saying. What do you rate the quality of this game so far? 8.5 for me. It has been intense, man. It's been a proper battle. Australia going to set another maul here, I would imagine. Māori is hard. Yeah. Oh, here goes the Aussie maul. Seems like it's been shut down. Pocock off the back of the ruck. Man, that Welsh defence is just swarming them, but Aussies have still got the ball. Welsh is harder. I heard that like Romanian is like no, Hungarian is one of the toughest languages in the world because the words all change depending on like if it's a guy doing it or if it's a girl doing it. Like even the nouns change depending on who's performing the action, which is something that English doesn't have. Aussies 5 phases, like 2 meters away. They need quick ball. They're taking their sweet time. Hooper. God, slow ruck, Aussie. Yeah, it is slow on my end as well. It's not Spark. It's just the Wallabies. They're going slow. They're like a meter away. They've got advantage. Back for the penalty. Finish is stupidly hard as well, apparently. Yeah, I heard finish is also pretty difficult. Mandarin is one of the most difficult languages. Well, I know Mandarin. Mandarin's not too bad. The grammar is easy. It's just the characters that suck. And the tones are kind of hard to get used to. But Mandarin is not too bad, at least from my learning experience. 60 minutes, 26-15 to Wales. But man, have Australia been better in the second half. The maul is going nowhere on this attempt. Latu has it at the back. Oh, good take from Karevi because White did his best to pass it to his knees. Oh man, are they going to score or are they going to stuff it up? If Australia don't score here, that'll be very disheartening for them, and the Welsh defence will really just be invigorated. Surely, so much defence. They're only like half a meter away. I can't look at the comments because you guys are going to tell me if it's a knock on or if it's a try. 5 phases. They're just busting it inch by inch. Try. Are you guys joking? At advantage again. Surely they have to score. "61 minutes. Oh, try. Hooper. You guys were right. It was a try. Wow. Game on. Game on. Second half has been all Australia. Wow. I'm a Scottish, but I want the Aussies to win. Why is that? Come on, Wales. Wales must score next. Wales need to score next. If the Aussies go in front, that'll be tough. Game of two halves. It is a cliche, but man, how true is it? Honestly. 22-26. The Aussies kind of looked dead and buried, but they are coming right back into this. Nerves are long gone. The game panned out exactly how I thought it would. It often goes this way, hey? What was the first half score? Halftime, it was 26-8 to Wales. Now it's 26-22. So Wales haven't scored in the second half. No, they haven't. Scots supporting Oz must have been comatose in 2015. Yeah, that was an interesting decision. The heat is getting to Wales. It could be a factor. Wales has still got a lead, but it's a slender one at this point. Dana Hill Petty's going down the wing. Oh, side of the boot, but he managed to keep it in. That's getting messy. We are flat out on our ass. Let's see about Wales. Yeah, they need to somehow like slow the game down a bit here and get a breather because the Aussies are all fired up. Messi is good for Australia. Yeah, they want a bit of unstructured play, for sure. Latu's starting to look a wee bit knackered. I wonder how long until he goes off. Cheika will come on and score the winning try. Intercept 90-meter dash all the while holding the large pepperoni pizza. What the hell? Just the image of Cheika running 90 meters with a pepperoni pizza. That's kind of made my evening. Epic battle is why we love the game in heaven. Absolutely, man. This is why we love the game. This kind of game. Although if you're Welsh, you're probably not enjoying it that much at the moment, but you're still in front. If you're an Aussie, you're enjoying it more than you were in the first half, but still not in front. The beer made my evening. The beer helps as well. That's true. Slipper comes on for Sio. Alalatoa is off. Kipu's on. So the front row replacements, but still Latu seems to be on. Oh, and the Wallabies have knocked it on. Oh, he says play on. What the hell? My wife's not too happy anymore, says Scooty. I'll bet she will be feeling the heat like Warren. Warren's got his arms crossed. So does Sean Edwards. They're both looking less than pleased. Damn, the humidity is killing the Northern Hemisphere teams. Joe, you're probably right, man. Are you watching from New Zealand, mate? Obviously, the Blues goodies. Yes, I'm definitely watching from Auckland with the Blues gear draped over my couch. Wallabies on the attack again. Man, if they score, you feel like Wales kind of have to hold them out. Oh, has Alan Wynne got a turnover? No, he's knocked it on. Oh, fine margins from Taranaki. Nice one, man. You know, I've never been to the Taranaki. I need to go. My wife actually wants to go. She really wants to go. Hi, 2 cents. Can you give a shout out to G-Man? Yeah, man, I love G-Man. G-Man is awesome. That guy's passion for the game is just incredible. What do you think about Cheika as coach? I think he's better than most people probably give him credit for. Latu is going off now. I don't think Cheika became a bad coach because he's always had a pretty good record, but he does have a bad attitude, which is, I think, not helpful. And he's got a bad habit of picking his favorites. I think he's done better since he's had that kind of selection panel working with him. Yeah. Definitely the game of the tournament so far. Both teams deserve massive applause. They have both been doing very well. This is a proper test match, proper game of two halves. Yeah, very entertaining. Hey, Mark, what did I miss? You missed a really good Welsh first half and a really good Aussie comeback. It's 26-22 after 66 minutes. Cheika loves the Tars way too much. He does have that problem. Guys like Hannigan, guys like Phipps. Oh, scrum penalty to Australia. And that is, as Big Will says, pretty much out in front. I made it to the Taranaki under 11s. Nice one. Do you reckon Australia have a chance of winning? At this point, they sure do. They're going to take the penalty. Whatever Cheika said at halftime. You guys have already seen him get it? Man, Spark, come on. They're still showing the replay of the scrum on my feed. He's like still getting ready for the kick. Still hasn't kicked it. Still going. Tamua has had a massive impact. I agree, Joe. He has been solid stuff. And he kicks it finally on my stream. 25-26. Remember that those predictions by the bookies in the algorithm were Wales by 1 and Australia by 1. They're starting to look a little bit more accurate now. Tamua should play for Samoa. Wallabies have been the real overperformers of Rugby World Cup history. I suppose, man. 2 Rugby World Cups, can't complain for a sport which is not the number 1 in the country. Salakaia-Loto is on. Take back what I said about Australian Rugby Union, says Carl. They're doing all right, man. They're doing all right in the second half. That is for sure. They're not doing it all wrong. That's a fact in the second half anyway. Oh, advantage for Kepu being offside. Will that shift some momentum back for the Wallaby for Wales? Silly penalty, very silly. My heart rate is at a whopping rather large number BPM. I'll bet. I'm glad I'm a neutral for this one because this would be heart-wrenching. Has Wales scored any points in this half? They have not. Last points they scored was 37 minutes. Right. Wales, a big kick into Aussie territory. This could be make or break stuff. G-Man did a shout out for me. Oh, okay, awesome. Is he streaming as well? That's cool. I'll have to see if I can watch his stream tomorrow. Although I seldom get to watch the whole streams. I saw him do a stream a while back where he did like 4 streams in a row and he was getting it through the beers, man. He was getting well toasty. It was very entertaining. Love the Munster flag. Heading to Japan tomorrow for the Russia game. Can't wait. Nice one, man. I do have 2 Munster flags, actually. Cross kick. George North against Beale. Knocked it on, surely. Yeah. North got cleaned up. It's going to be a penalty against Rada for taking out Tipper at the lineout. North, so close, but not quite. Biggest threat to England. We've got to see how England go with their 2 games against Argentina and France first, I guess. They look like the favourites for those for sure, but hard to say. Petrol reminds me of Paul O'Connell on estrogen. Okay. Hey, pal, what's the score now? It is 26-25 on my one, with Wales lining up a shot at goal for a penalty. Yeah, it should be 29 if he kicks it. I'm assuming he's going to kick it. It's a relatively straightforward kick. Pressure kick, though. The camera angle I saw was not that convincing, but he still got it. First points for Wales in the second half, very important. What a game from both sides. Yeah, man. How many minutes are we at? 72 on my one. What happened to Dan Bigger? He went off for HIA early, and Petrels played most of the game. Like the Sunwolves jersey. Yeah, it's not going to be much good after next year, but I'm glad that I got it while I did. 72 minutes and 30 seconds on my clock. Aussie got the ball around halfway. Just, gone into the Welsh half, but Karevi got stripped. Thomas Williams is on as well. He was a real live wire in that last game, so he could be a danger man because Gareth Davis was getting a lot of pay for Wales, so maybe Thomas Williams can do the same thing with some fresh legs. Are the Sunwolves in for another season? One last year for the Sunwolves. I imagine the Sunwolves will play a kind of garbage team next year because there's not much in it for them, so they could be real whipping boys. Wales close to holding on for the win. Yes. That was a forward pass from Beale, wasn't it? Who was that got the strip? Game clock time. My one is at 73:31. Liam Williams is limping, which is disconcerting. Hope the Sunwolves join Global Rapid Rugby. I suppose that could happen, but supposedly the Sunwolves have really weird issues about who pays the players. Like the players have to get released from the top league clubs, and a lot of them don't get kind of reimbursed. They just play for the challenge of playing Super Rugby, and then some of the foreign imported guys get paid, I think, centrally. So yeah, it's a weird system with the Sunwolves. Yeah, it's 29-25. Wales in front, 73 minutes. Scrum time, Wales feed. Not penalty, but the ref blows the whistle and we're going to reset. So more time going down. Do you reckon Japanese rugby will lose momentum once the Sunwolves leave Super Rugby? Well, interestingly, this year for the Sunwolves, they didn't play a lot of the Japanese players. Like the Sunwolves were largely a foreign supplement, like mercenary kind of team this year, for want of a better word, because Jamie Joseph wanted to spend as much time as he could with all the Japanese national team guys. So they kind of came in and out, but for the most part, yeah, it didn't seem to have that much effect. So we'll see. Top league gets a few good players, but not the same level. Eating up the clock. This is the third time the scrum is going to be packed down. So Michael Hooper looks pretty mad. Shot for the stream, dude. Much appreciated. Nah, it's all good. do like the odd streams. Was it a big difference with Reece Hodge not being there? Nah. They don't have the option of that long-distance penalty kick. You'd say that, Wales have got a free kick from the scrum. Will they pack down another scrum? It's only a short arm. The clock is just eating away. Checker is warming up. Yes. The clock is off. The referee is lecturing the hookers. Less than 5 minutes to go. He's telling them to get their acts together. Who is replacing Checker? That remains to be seen. Imagine being in the same room with Checker when he's mad. It probably wouldn't be pleasant. Penalty to Aussie. Are you kidding? They're just setting it now. Four minutes left on the clock that I'm watching. They're just about to feed. And Australia do indeed win a penalty. Man, it's like you guys are from the future. What Hogwarts house do you think Checker is in? That's a tough question. I'm not a Harry Potter expert. Which one's the angry one? Probably that one. Did they seriously just keep that ball in? Oh, snap. Tamua tried to chew off too much ground. That could be a game saver. Was that Thomas Williams? Damn. Crazy. Chickens are Slytherin. Ruben. Cheers for the tip, man. Assuming it gets their prediction for South Africa v Wales semi-final. Man, you are looking far into the future. To be honest, Wales's recent record over South Africa is quite good. But that most recent game, wasn't it the game in America where Russie picked a real B team, but so did Wales? So I don't know how much I read into that. It'd be a close game if it was South Africa Wales. Oh man, the Aussies are going to have one last run. A minute and a half to go. They're in the Welsh half. If I had to make a pick between South Africa, Wales, I think before the World Cup I would have said Wales, but right now I might say South Africa based on the Welsh second half. Would South Africans be more adept to the Japanese conditions? Maybe. I hear Durban gets pretty hot. 1 minute left. This is crazy. This is about as tense as the game last night with Ireland and Japan. 10 seconds left for you guys. I don't know if I can look at the chat. I know I'm behind. I need to see what happens. The Wallabies have gone 9 phases. Oh, the Welsh got the ball. Oh, that's game, surely. Wales wins. Yeah, it has to be. That's not even a spoiler. There's no way they're not going to win it from here. Oh, what a game. It's 15 seconds to go on my stream. Wow. So close. The Wallabies are going to feel pretty silly for that stupid offside penalty that let them get that far ahead. Wow. Very good game. Game of 2 halves. Gareth Davis was immense. I wonder if he gets man of the match. Squeaky pants time is right. Absolutely. What a game. That's what World Cup rugby is all about. That kind of game. Man, that was amazing. Imagine if the Wallabies had started Tamua. I don't know. Very good game. Game of 2 halves. Australia will still take a bit of that. They got a losing bonus point. I think, yeah. Anyway, neither coach is going to be all that happy, but certainly Warren Gatland will be the happier of the two. Yeah, buddy, your wife is happy now. I bet your wife is happy. I'm going to end the stream now, man. I'm going to go do the review for this game and head to bed. It's not too late. 10:46 is earlier than normal. But tomorrow's game for Samoa, Scotland, I think starts here in New Zealand at, let me just double check, 11:15. So it's going to finish past 1 in the morning. So that'll be fun. But yeah, you guys enjoy the rest of your night or morning or day, wherever it is where you are. Hopefully I'll stream tomorrow, guys. Hopefully. See how it goes, see how the kids go. But yeah, congratulations to Wales. Good effort, Australia. We'll see you guys in the playoffs, I'm sure, man. All right, guys. Take care. Cheers.